Hello everyone, welcome to Chelsea Sport Focus. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started.
Enzo Moresca ignores obvious Nicolas Jackson question with doubt now hanging over striker's Chelsea future. As Chelsea booked their place in the FIFA Club World Cup semi-final after a tense 2-1 win over Palmeiras, all eyes weren't just on the goals or standout moments, but on who didn't play. One name stood out like a sore thumb: Nicolas Jackson. The Senegalese striker, who had served a 2-match suspension following his red card at the end of the Premier League season, was widely expected to return to action and reclaim his spot in the starting 11. After all, Liam Delap had already started 3 consecutive matches in the tournament. Surely, it was time for a rotation, or a reinstatement. But when the starting lineup dropped, Jackson was on the bench once again. And if that wasn't surprising enough, when Delap was subbed off later in the game, it was new signing João Pedro, not Jackson, who was called upon to lead the line. A shocking decision? Perhaps. But more importantly, it raised a glaring, uncomfortable question: what's going on with Nicolas Jackson? Left-pointing magnifying glass the curious case of Nicolas Jackson, from first choice to third? Not long ago, Nicolas Jackson was Chelsea's undisputed number 9. His season had ups and downs, but he still finished the 2024-25 Premier League campaign as Chelsea's top scorer. His blend of physicality, raw pace, and tireless energy made him a difficult customer for defenders, even when his finishing left much to be desired. But suddenly, things appeared to have shifted, and fast. With Liam Delap starting 4 straight games and João Pedro leapfrogging Jackson in the pecking order despite just a few training sessions under his belt, it's clear that something deeper is at play. Whether it's a tactical disagreement, lack of form in training, disciplinary issue, or simply Enzo Moresca having moved on, we may never fully know. But what we do know is this: Jackson's status at Chelsea is under serious doubt. Microphone # Moresca's silence speaks volumes. After the Palmeiras victory, Enzo Moresca was, unsurprisingly, asked about João Pedro's performance and his chances of starting in the semi-final against Fluminense. His response was glowing. Since he arrived, even if he was on holiday, he looks sharp, he looks good. We gave him some minutes, and I think since he was inside, him and Noni, Maduke, we were much better. What he didn't say was just as important as what he did. There was no mention of Nicolas Jackson. No explanation as to why the former Villarreal man didn't play a single minute. No hint as to whether he was injured, out of form, or simply no longer part of the manager's immediate plans. In the world of elite football, this kind of omission is louder than any comment. It suggests that, at least for now, João Pedro and Liam Delap are ahead of Jackson in the striker hierarchy. Tactical shift or deeper implication? It's possible that Moresca is simply assessing his new arrivals during the Club World Cup. Liam Delap's work rate has impressed, and João Pedro's technical ability has given the attack a different dimension. But even then, completely freezing out Jackson, a player who was a regular last season, feels extreme. The decision to not even bring him on as a substitute, particularly with Delap suspended for the semi-final, implies Moresca may be preparing a new blueprint, one where Jackson doesn't feature prominently, if at all. What now for Jackson? Chelsea's attack is now overflowing with options. Liam Delap, João Pedro, Cole Palmer, Jamie Gittins, Pedro Neto, Estevao Willian, soon joining. Even Rodrigo, if that blockbuster signing comes to pass. For Nicolas Jackson, the message is clear: you're fighting for your Chelsea career. Whether he starts against Fluminense or not will speak volumes. But even if he does, it could merely be a temporary nod due to Delap's suspension, not a long-term show of faith. With interest across Europe in dynamic young strikers, Chelsea could opt to offload Jackson this summer, either permanently or on loan, should they wish to continue investing in their new forward line. Large blue circle final word: from hero to outcast? Football moves fast. Nicolas Jackson knows that better than most. From being Chelsea's key forward to potentially being their third-choice striker, all within a matter of weeks, his decline in status under Enzo Moresca has been swift and sharp. Unless things change dramatically in the next few weeks, we might be witnessing the beginning of the end for Jackson's time at Stamford Bridge. And right now, Moresca isn't giving him any answers. In fact, the silence is deafening. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea transfer impact clear after £40 million update. Could the Blues strike late? Victor Osimhen's future is once again up for debate. And even after Chelsea have already completed a number of high-profile attacking signings this summer, the possibility of the Nigerian superstar arriving at Stamford Bridge refuses to die. As the new Premier League season draws closer, Chelsea have been one of the most active clubs in the market. Liam Delap was the first domino to fall, a young, promising striker whose profile suited Enzo Moresca's tactical blueprint. Then came the versatile João Pedro, secured from Brighton for a significant fee. And finally, Jamie Gittins joined from Borussia Dortmund, a left-footed winger oozing with flair. On paper, Chelsea's front line appears fully stocked. But football rarely follows the script. And Osimhen remains the biggest name yet to make a definitive move. Chelsea's striker puzzle, is there still room for Osimhen? At first glance, Osimhen to Chelsea seems less urgent now. Delap and Pedro are ready to compete, while Moresca also has Nkunku, Jackson, and even Madueke, should he stay, to rotate. But behind the scenes, there are signs that Chelsea aren't done. The attacking depth may look abundant, but with Nkunku linked to Manchester United, Madueke tipped for Arsenal, and Jackson's inconsistency and discipline under scrutiny, the door is still open, perhaps wide open, for a game-changing striker like Osimhen. The Nigerian forward has long been admired by Chelsea's hierarchy, dating back to the days of Thomas Tuchel. But Napoli's ridiculously high asking price, previously linked to a €130 million release clause, scared off even the most ambitious of buyers. Now, things might be changing. Stopwatch release clause set to expire, opportunity knocks? Reports from Italy and Turkey suggest that Osimhen's €75 million, £67 million, release clause is set to expire on July 15, just over a week away. At face value, this might appear to weaken Chelsea's chances. After all, without a fixed clause, Napoli could raise the price. But not so fast. The CIES Football Observatory, a respected source for transfer valuations, has recently recalculated Osimhen's market worth based on form, contract length, age, and other indicators. Their conclusion? Osimhen should be worth between €32 million, £27 million, and €47 million, £40 million, a dramatic drop compared to Napoli's demands. This valuation aligns with reality far more than Napoli's stubborn stance. Despite a brilliant loan spell at Galatasaray, where he netted 37 goals and 41 appearances, clubs remain hesitant to go near nine-figure fees in a market now obsessed with sustainability and long-term value. For Chelsea, who just faced a £78.5 million UEFA fine and have already spent heavily, this repricing might be the trigger to re-enter negotiations. Nigerian the Galatasaray factor, Osimhen's redemption season. Let's not forget why Osimhen was loaned out to Turkey in the first place. With no suitors able, or willing, to meet Napoli's sky-high asking price last summer, Osimhen agreed to a one-year loan at Galatasaray. For some, it felt like a step down. But the 26-year-old made the most of it. He scored 37 goals, created countless headlines, and rebuilt his reputation in Europe as a pure goal machine. More importantly, he proved he could stay fit across a full campaign, a major concern during his last 2 years in Serie A. For Chelsea, this is more than a redemption arc. It's validation. Osimhen is now match-fit, firing, and motivated to return to one of Europe's top 5 leagues. And Chelsea, under Moresca, are building a system that could suit his direct, powerful style to perfection. Moneybag financial and tactical impact, why it makes sense now. If Chelsea were to pounce on Osimhen at a new reduced valuation, the move would bring multiple benefits. White heavy checkmark instant upgrade at the number 9 position. White heavy checkmark adds Champions League level pedigree to a young squad. White heavy checkmark frees up tactical flexibility. Osimhen as the main striker, Pedro and Delap as rotation options. White heavy checkmark makes a statement in the market after losing out on names like Sesko, Watkins, and possibly Kudus. White heavy checkmark could help offset potential fan unrest if Nkunku and Madueke depart. In a market where quality strikers are scarce and overpriced, getting Osimhen for £40 million to £50 million would be a coup of epic proportions. Fire the clock is ticking. With just 11 days left before the reported clause expires, Chelsea must act fast if they want to get ahead of the competition. Napoli are said to be considering raising the asking price once the clause lapses. Whether this is a bluff or a genuine ploy remains to be seen. Either way, Chelsea, armed with fresh Club World Cup prize money and looking to cap off their summer window in style, may not get a better chance than now. Memo final word, is Osimhen the missing piece? Chelsea's summer business has been bold and aggressive, but no signing would shift the power dynamics quite like Victor Osimhen. He is not just a striker. He's a symbol of ambition, of firepower, and of Chelsea's return to elite football. If they truly want to challenge Manchester City, Arsenal, and the European elite, they need a number 9 who can drag a game by the scruff of the neck and deliver goals. Osimhen is exactly that. And if the £40 million valuation holds true, it's not just a bargain. It's the deal of the decade.